because that's a conversation I've been dying to have. You know, I just don't get it, man. I just don't get it, man. I'm not saying that it's not a blemish, but what I'm saying is, if how is it that we knocking them down for it? Because last time I checked, man, it's only 2 teams up for the championship every year. One of them gonna win, one of them gonna lose. And as a fan, living in Chicago, if the Bulls make 8 straight finals and they only win 3, I'm not gonna be, oh man, this is bull. This is trash. I can't believe this. I'm gonna be like, I'm down. You gonna celebrate. I don't understand. That's something I'll never understand. No, I'm not. And your response to your remark, I'm not trying to hand out participation trophies. I don't want to make someone bigger than they are. I just don't see the flaw in losing in the NBA Finals. That's something I'll never. The NBA Finals, I ain't losing the first round. Like, I can remember for a long time, Karl Malone and the Utah Jazz would get put out in the first round by Magic Johnson and the Lakers. For years, Dirk Nowitzki couldn't get out the first round of the playoffs. I get that. I really get that. But when I look at Dominique Wilkins, who was he got put out by the big time Pistons and the big time Celtics. I can't look at Dominique and be like, man, you just couldn't get it done, dog. See, the real ones get past it. No, they don't. The real ones and their crew get past them. Because you know what? Dominique Wilkins was playing with Tree Rollins, Kevin Willis, Antoine Carr, Doc Rivers, John Battle. Dominique Wilkins is the only dude that don't have to pay to get in the Hall of Fame. He the only one up. The rest of them dudes got buying tickets, man. They get in just like me and you. So I can't say, hey, man, and I watched Dominique get beat by the Celtics with the big 3 Celtics, with Danny Ainge. Well, they had 4 Hall of Famers on that team, so how was he expected to beat them? LeBron James choked like a dog, man. He choked his ass off in the finals against Dallas. But here's another question. Did LeBron James really choke his ass off, or did Eric Spoelstra, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh choke? Now, we know LeBron James punked out, shut down. The Dallas Mavericks came up with a game plan. Whatever it was, LeBron James didn't deliver in that moment. He was afraid to shoot. He didn't shoot. Whatever, however we gonna dress that dog up, whatever skirt we gonna put on that girl, it's there. I'm just trying to understand where the blame for Eric Spoelstra come in at, because I can't prove what I'm about to say, but I would argue that Larry Brown wouldn't have lost the finals that year because he'd have put it on Dwayne Wade. Pat Riley wouldn't have lost in the finals that year. He'd have put it on Dwayne Wade. He'd have put it on Chris Bosh, and then he'd have let LeBron grow into that. LeBron punked out. He didn't even play good enough to call it choking. Hey, you know what? I'm not gonna give you. Look. You see what I just put in the group, in the chat room? Bam. That dot. I'm not even going to give you that in regards to push out. That period that I just put in the chat room, I'm not going to give you that much putback. That man punked out. He bitched up. He punked out. He holed out. He chumped up. Whatever colloquialism we can throw out there for being a pussy, that's what he did. But what I don't understand is this. See, when we look at the Lakers 1984, tragic magic. So if LeBron is part of the team, how can he be the king? I'm just saying. The same way you think Michael Jordan, not you, Red, the same way we call Michael Jordan the king. Because guess what? When Scottie Pippen was showing up in the playoffs against the Pistons, the Bulls were losing. And when Scottie Pippen stepped up, yes, they do. Oh, okay. It's this dude who played in Hollywood, California. He wore number 32. And on the cover of Sports Illustrated, they've got him dribbling out the clock and they called the guy Tragic Magic. Hey man, I just gave you an example, Red, of Michael Jordan choking, driving baseline, Orlando Magic. If you know what, I'm gonna post it in the Facebook group later on tonight after the show. Michael Jordan driving baseline. Everybody in the stadium looked up for him to shoot. He threw it over Scottie Pippen's head. Same Michael Jordan dribbling up half court. Nick Anderson, you ain't doing nothing with this ball. Let me get this about you, homie. They all choke. They all choke. Okay, I got Doc Bell calling in. 1 second, people. Doc, what's good, buddy? Angry Black Man on deck. What's good, brother?
Oh man, it's good, man. My lady does her show usually in the morning, but her schedule made where she had to do one tonight, so I'm in both chats. I wanted to call you real quick. I'm not disputing what you're saying about LeBron, and I'll sum it up like this. This is my thoughts on the whole tired, endless debate LeBron and Jordan that we see on Facebook and other message boards. It's the constant need to compare people all the time.
Okay.
And what happens is, and I'm a Jordan guy.
Okay.
And I'm also a guy that big ups LeBron, and I did it this playoff just seeing what he did with that Cavs team because they had experience, but they really were on fumes trying to get to the finals, not having that other playmaker like Kyrie. And as good as the Boston dude stepped up, but what happens is Jordan fans line up and they put their feet in the ground. LeBron fans line up, and what happens is you almost find yourself talking to both sides, and you're like, the other one's trying to deny the other one's greatness. If you saw Jordan play, what you witnessed with him, and for people like me and you that saw Jordan, and now we see LeBron, not the LeBron people that only see highlights of Michael Jordan, they never saw him live when he was in his prime and winning championships and failing, getting the ball stolen by Nick Anderson in 95. They almost become blind to being able to acknowledge the greatness, and they feel like they always got to defend their player, their favorite player, whoever it is, and knock down the other one.
Right.
You know, same argument that Skip Bayless has all the time about Kevin Durant. I love Kevin Durant, but Kevin Durant went to Golden State for one reason, because they could say Russell Westbrook, he wanted to touch system, he had to do as much. Now you've seen him kind of get attention as a better defensive player. He was a good defensive player and took challenges at OKC. Maybe didn't defend the rim as much, blocking shots, but it's almost like, people downgrade LeBron all the time, saying, well, he's not the best player in the NBA, and I'm still saying, who else can take that Cleveland team and get them to the finals? Can Kevin Durant do that? I don't think he can hold up doing that. And that doesn't swing him as far as LeBron, but I think that's kind of what I look at when people get in that argument. But you're right about the one ring with Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't have the defensive talent.
Exactly.
Stuff that Tom Brady's had.
Exactly.
I've heard that come up the last few weeks with Aaron Rodgers. He has one Super Bowl. That's really the only thing they can say, other than if they didn't have Aaron Rodgers, the Packers would be 3-13, 4 every year.
That's what I'm saying. I just don't get it. When did one ring become not enough? I mean, I'm not even talking to LeBron James thing. I'm just saying, man, when did we start saying, hey, man, you only have a championship? We are looking at thousands, not thousands, hundreds of great athletes and very good athletes. Man, I can name, right off the top of my head without even trying, 10 all-time greats that don't have a ring. 10 all-time greats.
My favorite baseball player of all time growing up, once I got old enough to watch him, sometimes I'm sitting around, I put my hat on backwards because of him, is Ken Griffey Jr.
Exactly.
He ain't won a ring, been in the playoffs a few times, but he's still one of the greatest swings I've ever seen. Watch that man swing that bat from the left side.
I just don't get it. He only has one championship. When did I understand Michael Jordan is the man. There's no denying that Michael Jordan is one of the greatest basketball players we've seen and we ever will see. But because he was able to navigate through the league and win 6, don't mean because I won 1, I'm less than. And if I only make it to the finals one time, if I make it to the finals once and I win, how is that better than making it to the finals 9 times and winning 3? Because
better percentage, it's the same way. Nobody ever points this out except for people like you and me, a couple people that know it. Jerry West, is he not great because he struggles in the finals?
exactly. And then
Oscar Robertson not great because he won the one with Lou Alcindor in Milwaukee. But it's, now we're in such a media age, and we're kind of in the media, even though we're on podcasts, not in mainstream. But that's the thing. If LeBron wins in LA, then people say, oh, he's better than Jordan. He won 3 places. And it's just a constant thing. If he doesn't win, as soon as he won the first championship in Miami, it's like, oh, now I need to see him win too.
right.
And they also twist stuff. The whole interview with Michael Jordan, with Amar Rashad, said, who would you take, Kobe or LeBron? No, ESPN posted that up, and they never said, the link didn't say Jordan said Durant, because he knew whatever he said, somebody was going to run with a story. Everybody
Exactly.
else. And he said, right now, I would go with 5 beats 2 at the time, I think LeBron had. And everybody took that as a knock on LeBron, and it really wasn't, because he said Kevin Durant, because he knew where that was going to run to. And because he doesn't come out and speak every day, he doesn't like LeBron. Well, he doesn't come out and speak about anybody. He speaks about Westbrook because,
he promoting his shoes.
He endorses his shoes.
Right.
But, it's a constant thing. And then, with the shows, they have these daily shows. They got to come up with a topic. In another week, I bet you First Take, which I don't watch. I watch Shannon Skip sometimes when I'm working from home on Fox. But I bet you they'll have something about Jordan and LeBron. That's going to come up 15 times.
Exactly.
No matter if the Lakers win 30 games or if they somehow get 55 wins this year. It's going to come up well before the playoffs.
Exactly.
And it's just a tired dynamic that takes away from, and I used to always get in a debate and try to say this and different stuff. I'm old school. I would have felt differently about Jordan, the people that left and went to Detroit when they was kicking his ass in 87, 88, and 89. I would have felt different. I understand this is a different culture. Like Paul Pierce said it on one of the playoff studio shows, and he said, it's not in his DNA, but this is a different era. Hey, we would know each other now if you lived in California and I lived in Pensacola, Florida, because we would see each other at AU. We probably would end up playing on the same team, so I understand it. I don't criticize it anymore. I would say I wouldn't have done that in my era. Now, if I was in his era, I'd probably do the same thing they do, just because creature of habit, this is what they do now. But I think the media drives it, and we're sheep to, I'm saying we as sports are sheep to buy into that stuff, rather than enjoy the greatness of what you see with LeBron James, because once he's gone, you won't see anything like him. You'll see another great player. There'll be another transcendent player that dominates the NBA for a decade or a decade and a half, but you won't see LeBron James.
Exactly. And you know what, man? Even with that, I don't even think he took the fact that he lost into consideration. I think he just said, man, they kissing my behind, I'm going where they kissing my behind. Anytime I look at this situation, I think of my cousin, Ali Bailey. He was a big-time basketball player. He was getting recruited all over the country. He was coming out of Farragut, and he ended up going to Rutgers. I was like, cuz, what made you go to Rutgers? You had Kentucky, Duke, and all these people. He's like, man, they treated me like they really wanted me. And I don't think Kevin Durant looked at it as we were down 3-1, we could beat them. I think for whatever reason he was ready to get the hell out of OKC, which everybody likes to blame it on Russ. And I'm gonna give you my theory when we disengage. I'm gonna give you, but I believe it was just a situation to whereas he was like, I don't want to be here anymore, I'm leaving. And they kissed his behind enough and he went. I don't even think he took it in consideration. Because let's not forget, this is a dude who kind of knocked LeBron for going to Miami. So I don't think he even thought about what he was doing. I think
and you make a great point. The first thing you said, he was ready to go. He had been in that small market. He's looking at his business interests he has now may put him, LeBron, Steph Curry in position to buy an NBA team or become management, which is what I want to see, besides MJ in Charlotte and Magic with a piece of the Lakers and stuff like that. See more of great players like them buy franchises.
Exactly.
But I think what you said was important. He signed that first extension very quietly and, had something to say when LeBron